Let's head to extra depth now. Detecting ovarian cancer early has been one of the most elusive challenges in women's health, and it often goes unnoticed until it has already spread into stages 3 or 4. But now life-changing research at Memorial Sloan Kettering is changing that narrative. Using nanotechnology, scientists like Dr. Heller are developing tiny sensors that could detect out cancer biomarkers long before those symptoms arise. Well, I got the chance to sit down with Dr. Heller to explore how these nanosensors work and what this could mean for the future of cancer screening. His research is funded by the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance, which is the world's largest ovarian and gynecological organization. Dr. Heller, thank you so much for joining us today. We spoke not too long ago about how current cancer biomarkers often don't work too well early on. So how is your research trying to fix this issue right now?
Great to talk to you again. And my lab is working on new technologies to detect cancer early. And ovarian cancer is one cancer that really needs better strategies for early detection. We're developing a liquid biopsy that uses nanosensors and AI in order to make treatment decisions and detect cancers early.
So what makes your sensors a little bit more accurate? How much of a time can we beat with actually seeing symptoms before they come up?
So what we found is that we've been able to detect some early cancers and early ovarian cancer patients just using blood. And we hope that we can expand this for use to many patients as a potential as a screening test. Mm-hmm. But right now, the idea is that it can detect the potentially stage 1 and 2 cancers, and that's really where we want to get. If we can detect stage 1 and 2 instead of just catching people at stage 3 and 4, we're hoping to detect have a blood test for early stage ovarian cancer.
And maybe for our viewers who do not know or are not aware of this right now, can you explain as to why maybe ovarian cancer goes undetected at many times?
Ovarian cancer is fairly silent until it gets it has enough symptoms that that one can detect, and these symptoms are often nondescript, like bloating, and there's not really one symptom that comes up that tells someone that they should be talking to an oncologist or even potentially their gynecologist many times. Mm-hmm. And so these symptoms slowly creep up, and when they become bad enough for someone who goes to see a doctor, that doctor might not think ovarian cancer and try to perform the test to detect it even at that stage.
Talk to us about could you see this eventually move away from protein biomarkers with what you're seeing right now in your lab with this type of research that we're doing? Is that the goal in the future?
That's the goal, is that right now, the most common biomarker for ovarian cancer is CA125, one protein that there are tests for, and that marker is actually very good for certain kinds of tests. That once someone has potentially symptoms, and it can often lead someone towards a diagnosis or help for monitoring treatment and recurrence. My lab its technology is detecting many proteins at once, and as well as smaller molecules in the blood. And the idea is to get from these kinds of technologies a fingerprint of the disease that may not be caused by any one or result from any one marker, but many markers that can together make a kind of an aggregate of a combination that's a fingerprint of the disease.
Wow, that's incredible work. I know you brushed on this a little bit earlier on in our conversation, but how soon can this detection tool be available to anyone watching right now? Is it still, are we seeing 5 to 10 years, or do you have a timeline exactly?
We certainly think shorter than 5 to 10, because diagnostics are quicker to get to the clinic than drugs. But we don't have a full timeline. We know it's probably more than 2 years, but we hope less than 5 for this technology. And then but others are developing other kinds of technologies where potentially they could detect cancer early from circulating tumor DNA, for instance. And whereas it may not detect everyone's cancer, but if it does detect cancer, it could potentially get an earlier diagnosis than someone would have gotten originally.
Dr. Heller, as always, thank you so much for your time and expertise here. We're excited to see what unfolds for you down the line.
Thank you so much.